Hello everyone and welcome to another beer review. Now, we've got a bit of an interesting one because I've never seen this beer before, and maybe I'm a bit of a hobbit and just living in no man's land, and maybe everybody else knows about it and I'm just an idiot. That could be a possibility. But this has been put forward by Adrian again, and it's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, so apparently it's Oakham Inferno Blonde Ale, which is looks interesting. Looks also a bit weird. Right, apparently it's supposed to be clean, fresh, and hoppy. And as you can see, there's a kind of fieriness to it, and there's also hops in the label. Now, I don't know how much this costs. I don't know where he got it from. I don't know whether he's buying it because he's interested in himself, or maybe he's buying it thinking, see how he copes with this. He could be looking at that. But I did actually say to him, I said, do you try any of these beers that you send me, or you give to me? And he says he doesn't. And I think he's kind of missing out. I think he should be, if he's giving me some beers, then he should be trying them himself and just see whether he gets, a similar kind of opinion of them, or the kind of same kind of experience as I get. And it also kind of, everybody's different and everybody reacts differently to different flavours and everything else. So I think he's kind of missing out, because some of these beers can be quite interesting. Although he does seem to, Adrian does say that the thing he enjoys most about my videos is not actually me talking. He just enjoys some of the facial, how would you say, kind of expressions, my facial expressions when I'm trying beers. And he can tell just by my facial expressions how I feel about that beer or how I'm reacting to that beer. And he seems to enjoy it when it's basically a bad reaction. So there's a bit of sadisticness to him. So this could be one right up his street. He could be delivering everything he wants from a video. So apparently Oakham's brewing team have been visiting the USA hop fields. Oh, Papa Legba, you're going to enjoy this one. It's another viewer who basically, his kind of raison d'etre when buying beer is to buy everything that doesn't contain American hops. And he seems to be quite successful in finding good beers that way. Well, apparently this one has got, they've been searching out American hops, so this one might not be for you, Papa. So apparently, visiting the USA hop fields for many years in search of the best quality hops, Inferno's unique flavour comes from 5 carefully selected hop varieties from the Yakima Valley, which is Sterling, Amarillo, Sentinel, Cascade and Chinook. A light gold beer with a big personality, bursting with fruity hop flavours, citrus notes and a refreshing finish. There you go. So it's 4.4%. It's brewed in the Oakham Ales Brewery in Peterborough. So it is. And this is one for Andy. If Andy is listening or watching, then this could be one for you to try. It's a local brew because he's up that kind of Cambridge, Peterborough way. So, but yeah, let's crack it open and see what it's like. There we go. Ooh. Right, let's see the port. Oh, there we go. It's all happening. Well, it's a golden ale, but geez, it's almost lager-like. Jeez. It's quite lager-like. A slight cloudiness to it. I'm old school. But for the people who don't understand the word cloudy, it's a bit of haze. There's a teeny bit, smidgen of haze. Or just very light cloud. There you go. But yes, it's a very light kind of golden ale. Usually they're a little bit darker than this. And it is almost kind of lager in colour. Smell. Well, guess what? We're getting hops, and Hops, there we go. We've got the triple hops, because you can't smell anything else apart from bloody hops. I'm getting slight citrus, but I'm actually getting slightly more floral. I'm getting more floral right now. So I'm getting some floral with some light accents of citrus. Not really getting any malt. Not getting any kind of grain smells. The citrus you can't really identify on the aroma side of it. And no, that's all I'm getting. So yeah, slight citrusness, but slightly more floral notes as well. These seem to be the more predominant aroma. So let's wire in and see what it's like. Right, well, the first thing I've realised is they haven't really kind of went into the kind of flavour profiles of these different hops and actually thought, I wonder if all these flavour profiles will actually go together. Because I'll be totally honest, right now, with the flavour profiles going around in my mouth right now, the first thing that comes to mind is a bad marmalade. It really does. But imagine it's a case as though if you took different types of marmalade, mixed them together, and then hope to God it's going to come out with a beautiful product. You mean, imagine taking all your favourite types of marmalade. Now, people that are watching, marmalade is a preserve, usually based from kind of citrus, because you can obviously get lemon, you can get lime, you get lemon and lime, you get orange, you can get shredded, which has got little bits of the peel in it, you've got shredless without it. So you imagine taking all your favourite styles of marmalade, mix them all together, and hope to God that you're going to develop this super marmalade that's just going to be wonderful and it's going to deliver everything to all men. Yeah, you can see how that's going to work out. Very similar to this, where they've chucked in lots of hops, thinking, well, I like this hop and I like that hop, and oh, I don't forget this hop because that's one of my favourites. And you put them all together, you think this is going to be a wonderful beer because it's got all the hops in it that we actually like, and it's wonderful, and it's great, and it's like an absolute mismatch. Jesus God. I mean, you get hints and tangs coming everywhere, for God's sake, and it's just, as you've noticed, I'm not rushing to take another drink. I've had one sip of it, and I'm not rushing for the second one. I know I'm going to have to at some point, but I'm not looking forward to it, because fucking hell, seriously. Jesus God. I mean, you just can't keep chucking ingredients in to a recipe and then all the kind of ingredients you like and just think it's going to work out. I mean, you wouldn't do it in cooking. You wouldn't do it in baking. So why the hell are you doing it in brewing? I mean, think of it, it's common bloody sense. You can't just chuck things in together without thinking, do these flavours go? Now, I can understand experimenting. Yeah, why not give it a go? Do these flavours go? Well, I don't really know. I don't probably think so, but why not give it a try? That's fine. What you don't do is, once you've done it, is basically can it or bottle it and then sell it to the bloody public. If it doesn't work, which, trust me, it doesn't, then don't produce it and make it public. Say, well, that didn't work out, move on and try something else. And I'm going to have to take a second sip of this, which that might basically make Adrian's day, but by God, it still ain't going to make mine. Jesus God. Oh, sure. Oh, that would make you whistle when you see your aces. Oh my God. Right. I'm going to try and break down the flavours. Right. You get a light sweetness to start with. And that's the only pleasant bloody thing you've got in the whole blooming drink. A nice little light sweetness. And then you get attacked with light citrus, heavy citrus, bitter citrus, really pithy, rindy citrus, a little bit of floweliness going over the top of that. I mean, seriously, this is all in the start of the mouth, and then this just continues onto the mid-tongue, at which point, of course, all these other citrus flavours have managed to kind of amalgamate into something that's just putrid tasting. And, well, that underlying kind of sweetness is becoming less and less because it's being overpowered by all this mixed match of hops, Jesus. And then it moves on to the aftertaste. The aftertaste, whereas they're all fighting for the finish. They all basically are fighting to be the last one there, which is quite good because whatever one actually has one, I can't actually tell you because there's just this kind of awful bitterness in the back of the mouth, and you're just sitting there thinking, well, I don't know what's actually giving me that horrible bitterness. I don't know where basically it's actually coming from, which type of hop, but it doesn't really matter because it's just this horrible kind of bitterness, this kind of mixed match of bitterness, and it really is. It's just no cohesiveness at all. There's no working together. There's no balance. It's just chuck them in willy-nilly, see what it's come out with. Well, it tastes hoppy. Well, it bloody does taste hoppy, but it's not a nice hoppy flavour in any way, shape or form. Fine, let's put a label on it, plunk it in a bottle, and let's sell it to the morons. I mean, seriously. Now, my sister lives up in Peterborough with her husband. And I've always wondered why people would want to live up near Peterborough. Because I stayed there for a while at my sister's, was it back in 2010. And I did notice that it's a particularly nice place. And then I've been there recently, well not recently, but over the years since then, probably from 2015 for different periods when I was up there doing some things with my work. And I could never warm to the place. I always thought it was a shithole. And nothing against the people from Peterborough, but I just found the whole kind of city and everything else just being a bit of a shithole. And I'm sorry if that offends people from Peterborough, but if you were going to stand there in the middle of Peterborough, look round about it and think, oh, this is lovely. Then wake up and smell the coffee. It's a shithole. Okay. Be honest. That doesn't mean it's a bad place because, of course, it's not just the environment. It's also the people as well that make a place what it is. I found the people of Peterborough quite nice and quite palatable. Just they're living in a shithole. Right. So now we've covered that Peterborough is a shithole. You're probably thinking, what is the point of this? What point are you trying to make? Well, the point I'm trying to make is that this is a kind of surprising because I'd be very surprised if the people in Peterborough would like this type of beer. I'd be very surprised if they would accept it. I mean, I'm not saying that they don't like hoppy beers. I'm sure there's plenty of people around about the Peterborough that like hoppy beers and everything else. But this horrible mixed match of hops fired into this brew, I'm sure a lot of them will be thinking, what have you done that for? That's crap. Because one thing I did notice about the people in Peterborough, even though they live in a shithole, is, which I think is more down to the actual council. I think the basic Peterborough Council is going to have a long, hard look at themselves. But I'm digressing here. Is that they're usually kind of quite honest. I get that back as like from the people of Peterborough. They're usually fairly kind of honest and upfront, which I kind of like. Being from Scotland, we like the kind of, you know, a spade's a spade. Tell us about it, that type of stuff. You know, I mean, if you've got something to say it. And I don't honestly think that they would accept this thinking, what the hell is this? Do you think this is acceptable? They would call it as they see it. And unless I'm way off the mark with my kind of tasting, then this is absolutely dreadful. And I honestly don't understand why they're making it. What market? Maybe they're selling loads of this in America, or I don't know. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'd be struggling to say that even people who like citrus flavours rather than beer flavours would actually like this, because it just does not go. Like I say, it's like a bad marmalade. It's just absolutely dreadful. It would spoil a good slice of toast, put it this way. Oh Christ, no. Right. Well, Jesus God. There's the aftertaste. Oh jeez. Right. What would I give this out of 10? Oakham Ales, I'm sorry. I'm going to give it a 2. Going to give it a 2 out of 10. Interesting packaging, gets a point. And it's got alcohol in it. There you go. That's the other point. Yeah. That's what you get. Although, I think the packaging's only kind of worth half a point. But I'll give a half a point for that kind of nice, kind of pleasant sweetness to start with before all that bloody citrus kicks in and it totally, absolutely spoils it. So, it's 2 out of 10. It's 4.4%. It's a 500ml bottle, unfortunately. It'd be great if it was a 2ml bottle. It'd be a lot nicer. I don't know how much agent spent on it, but trust me, whatever you spent, unless they gave you it for free, it was too much. Would I recommend it? Nope, because they totally failed. Whatever they tried to set out to do, they've completely failed. So 2 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.